Hi, teacher Emilio. I did my PTE 3 times and got overall 55. Listening 55, speaking 69, writing 54, and reading 55. I need 58 or 6.5. What should I do? You should keep watching this video because I will answer your question and I'll tell you whether you should switch from PTE into IELTS. One of you asked me this question in the comments, so thank you so much for asking. Welcome to the channel. My name is Emilio. Welcome back if you have been here already, and if this is the first time you're here, I am an English teacher based in Australia. I help students with IELTS preparation, with PTE preparation, because my students want to get a visa to stay in Australia. Maybe they want to study in university, and I am also a native translator. Si tienes que traducir un documento para Australia, ya sea para un trámite legal, algún tema de visas y necesitas traer un documento de tu país para Australia, escríbeme. Si tienes que mandar un documento de Australia a tu país, escríbeme también. Toda la información en el link de la descripción, escriben por WhatsApp, pásame un correo, te reviso los documentos y nos organizamos con tus traducciones. The very first thing that we need to unpack is that this comment says that I did my PTE 3 times. Not 1, not 2 times, I did the PTE 3 times. So a thing that it's important to consider is how many attempts that you would be taking, right? I normally ask students, what happened in the test? What are your circumstances? I literally have a student right now who has a sponsorship situation, which is a good problem to have. Who doesn't want to have a sponsorship in Australia? The problem is that this student has taken the PTE 3 times just like you, the person that commented. And the problem is that the employer is pushing, hurrying the student up. And that's creating extra stress. So when you think about every time that you have taken the test, I am also interested in knowing attempts, I should say, and approach, right? Because this student was very honest, and this person told me, teacher, I'm only using templates. A friend sent me something that got on the internet, and then I was just trying with that. I did notice a bit of improvement, but I'm stuck. So it is really important to think about how many times you have taken the test. This person here basically said, I took the test 3 times, 55 overall, and I need 58 or 6.5. The requirement is also important. So how much are we talking about? What's the score? In this case, this situation is from a 55 to a 58. So it's a very, very tiny bump, you know? I like to tell my students, it's like you need a little push, right? Or if you speak Spanish, un empujoncito. You are almost there, right? This is almost like saying that you're going from 6 to 6.5. So it's like so close. As soon as I see this comment, and by the way, thank you for commenting this, because this video comes from your comment. If you have a question about IELTS, PTE, life in Australia, leave me a comment down below. Maybe I'll see you in another video from your question. I'm here to help you. In this case, I'm really tempted to just tell this person, just keep going with PTE. Stick to PTE. Maybe there might be a problem in your approach or in your strategy, because getting the same score 3 times, it just tells me that maybe something isn't working. Then another thing that it's important to consider is how much time we have, right? Because sometimes, I mean, we don't know in this case, but a lot of the times there is pressure, and pressure plus visa plus a test that costs $500 is not a good, well, close to $500. It's not a good mix. So the target score is really important. The time is also really important as well. But another thing that no one likes to talk about on the internet, let me put my phone away, is the following, which is how you feel. How you feel. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if I come up and tell you, you should do this or you should do that, or I think that this test is good, or I think this test is better for you. At the end of the day, you know and you have your gut feeling. And I'm here, I mean, I'm not sponsored by PTE or by IELTS. I don't win anything. I'm just helping you pick the best test for you. And by the way, the sponsor of this channel is me, telling you about what I do. And of course, you, because you get part, you watch the video, you ask me questions, you get in touch, you check my link in the video description, you message me on WhatsApp, I teach you and I help you, right? That's the sponsor of the channel. So I don't get any benefits into you taking PTE or you taking IELTS. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect me. It's just the problem is that a lot of the times people go into PTE, and I don't know if this is your case. You, the person who commented. Maybe you have 3 attempts, right? You have 3 attempts, and maybe you're wondering, what should I do? You're really close, 55 to 58. I feel that maybe a few changes in your preparation could be the difference between that 58 or not. I literally had another student who just contacted me last week. This person got in touch with me. We just did a bit of speaking practice, and in less than 20 minutes, I said to this person, you are stuck in your speaking score because you're doing this and this and that. And if you're interested in working with me, just get in touch, message me. I already told you, it's in the video description. So that's why I'm telling you, the approach is a big thing. You can take the test as many times as you want. If you don't do the things that you should do, this goes for PTE and for IELTS, you can take the test 10 times. I know people who have spent more than 5,000 AUD because of test preparation. And I don't want you to be that person. That's why I'm making this video for you. So let's remove this 0, right? I feel that from 55 to 58, it's very close. So a part of me, it's like, look, you already took PTE 3 times. Maybe it's better to take PTE 1 more time. But give yourself time to practice. You need to find out what's not working. That's something that no one wants to tell you, but I will come here and tell you. Something that you're doing is not working. Maybe it is the template that your friend gave you. Maybe it is your pronunciation. Maybe it is that you need to review grammar. Maybe it is that you don't know note taking. I don't know what it is, but something is not working. Because if everything was working, you wouldn't leave me this comment, you wouldn't be getting this, you wouldn't take the test 3 times. Maybe you take the test 2 times, and that's it. So the good news for you is that from 55 to a 58, it is like a tiny bump. So that's good news. In this situation, it's just tilting me to just say, should you switch? In this case, I'm like, no, don't switch. Try PTE 1 last time. If you think about it, you took the test 3 times. This is another thing that I sometimes tell students is, you took the test 3 times, you spent like 1,500 AUD. Just spend another 500, maybe you pass the test and life is good. Now you're gonna going to IELTS. What happens if you try IELTS and then you fail? Now you are negative $1,000 more. So it's just probably not as efficient. But, I just gave you this example. Now let's swap the script. If then a person tells me, Emilio, I really don't like PTE. I don't like the test structure. I don't like how I feel. I am stressed. I don't like the computer. Whatever the thing may be, I don't like that I've got people around me. People around me really noisy. That's a very common complaint. Whatever the case may be, if you don't feel good, then I would say, why don't you think about IELTS? That's another thing that it's important to consider, because at the end of the day, if you are doing PTE and you don't like it, and then you can just invest the same amount of time, do IELTS, and then pass the test and get your visa and enjoy life in Australia, why wouldn't you take IELTS? Because your friend told you, oh, IELTS is too hard, blah, 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 blah. Listen, you need to find out what is the best test for you. So if you are still wondering, should I take IELTS or should I take PTE? Then you have to watch this video where I give you a full breakdown of IELTS versus PTE in 2026. I'll see you in this video, and thank you so much for watching this one.